What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another 7 o'clock premiere. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I got a story to show y'all. This right here, man, is an absolute mess. And man, just listen. You see this guy right here? We're going to start off from the top. Jesus Christ. See this dude over here? This is a grown man, right? This man got on the news and said he was kidnapped and forced to be a sex worker at a hotel in Houston. Shout out Houston. And when I first heard that, I was like, nah, I can't believe that type of stuff. You know, usually when you hear about trafficking and stuff, you hear about children, usually teenage girls or something like that. But grown men, don't sound right to me. But I want to show you. I'm not even going to show you the people that did it. Look at the story. This is something you got to see to believe. And you leave me your honest opinion of what you think happened. Because I honestly believe what he said is true. But I know why they picked him out of any other person out there, man out there. Take a look and you'll see why.
New tonight, a man says two women kidnapped him at gunpoint and forced him into sex work.
Court records backing up the victim's story, and he's sharing it only on 13. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live at the Harris County Jail detailing those 6 days of terror, Luke.
Yeah, and what a terror it was. So far, the only charges are aggravated kidnapping, but this man says in reality, he was really the victim of sex trafficking. Masterminded, he says, by a woman who called herself Cookie, operating out of a North Harris County motel.
It was really ghetto. It was scary.
A young man who still shudders when he thinks about all he endured. For almost a week, he says he was held captive in a room at the Regency Inn on Cypress Station near FM 1960. Forced, he says, to have sex for money. We're blurring his face to protect his privacy.
It was a lot of crackheads, like a lot of them, like a lot of sketchy homeless people.
A life, he says, he never imagined for himself. One the Harris County Sheriff's Office says he was sucked into October 18th. That's when they say one of the victim's friends, Esmeralda Pena, invited him to the Regency.
She said that she had a job for me, like she was gonna help me make some money because I didn't have a job.
Once here, he says he was introduced to this woman, Herbanique Forrest, although when they met, he says she went by a different name.
Her name was Cookie.
Cookie, he says, quickly set about signing him up for an escort site and told him he'd have to have sex with men for money. The next day, he says he saw an opportunity to escape and returned home. But just 4 hours later, deputies say a doorbell camera shows Pena and Forrest at the victim's front door, this time with an armed man. Investigators say they and Nixon Simmons forced him into a car at gunpoint.
Cookie started beating me, and she was like, don't I ever leave again. Like, if I ever leave, like, she'll blow my brains out.
For the next 6 days, he says he was beaten, plied with drugs, and deprived of food. At night, he says he was expected to solicit men in this Ross parking lot, although he says he only ever slept with one.
I knew that if I made them money, they would keep making me work for them. They would keep me around. So I just tried not to sleep with anybody.
Even so, he says the experience left him drained, and at one point, hoping Forrest would make good on an earlier threat.
Like a couple days in, I kind of wanted her to kill me. Like I told her to kill me, like just get it over with.
In the end, he says it was his aunt who saved him. October 24th, he says he was able to text her using a phone he'd hidden from his captors, and that she picked him up during one of those nights out in the Ross parking lot.
I was just like, yeah, this is not a good place to be at.
And the victim says he wasn't the only one forced to do this. One of the suspects, Esmeralda Pena, also beaten and made to walk the streets, he says. Right now, this case still under active investigation. Live downtown, Luke Jones, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
What is messing with that? What is messing with that? Now, make no mistake. Trafficking anybody against their will and stuff, that's not a good thing. But I'm going to be real here, and I'm going to be explicit with the way I talk, because this is just how I talk. I don't want to offend nobody. But we gotta keep it real. Ain't no damn way no group of women and a tranny gonna tell me what I'm gonna do with another man. And they picked and choose the right person that I believe they thought they could get that shit off on. So let me tell you something about people, about predators. They only come to people they think they can overpower or outthink or out hustle. And if things get bad, a lot of times they think they can just dominate you. Now looking at this dude, you see he kind of, you know what I mean, funny with the money. You could see the way he was talking and stuff. He got feminine nature to him. They read that. Said he was talking to the Spanish person. And before we get into that, look at this. Let's put this all into perspective. He tells the Spanish chick, "Oh, girl, I need a job. I got the this, I got the that. Oh, I got a job for you." She's the recruiter. Introduces him to Sigmund the Sea Monster, aka Cookie. She looked more like the crumbles from the cookie. The burnt crumbles. Nasty. She's the pimp. After that, he tries to run away. I don't want to do it anymore. Enter the trans. That's the muscle. You look like a woman, act like a woman, but when it's time to be a man and show the pimp hand, there you are with the gun. Cookie beat the boy up in the room. The Spanish girl, if you listen to the end of it, she the one that beat his ass when he didn't want to go out and walk the strip. She beat him out there and put him on the ab. Get your hoe ass out there. He walking up and down the street, standing outside of a store, risking his own freedom and life because these people force him to do that as a grown-ass man. Now, he got some weakness to him. This is why this happened. And they read him like a book. See, there are predators all out here. And sometimes they don't prey on you physically unless they have to, but it usually starts here. They usually befriend you. And people talk and tell a lot about themselves to where they expose their chinks in the armor. Spanish girl knew him, introduced him to the gruesome twosome here. They went to his house and snatched him out. So evidently he must live by himself. He had to call his aunt from a hidden phone to get out of there. Then he admitted that he had sex with one man, letting them pimp him. Now I want to tell you something. There are all type of skeevy underground sexual type hookup sites and all type of stuff, especially out there in Houston. Did you see that website they briefly showed? I ain't never heard of that shit. That shit looked nasty and skeevy as hell. Looked like it was full of undercover cops and sexual predators. And she put him on it. Now I want you to pay attention closely to the story. This is why I say I believe it, but I don't. The girl brings him to a raggedy hotel. He don't ask no questions. Then he introduced him to Cookie. Looking at Cookie, I'd have been like, hell to the no. Whatever job she offering, I don't want nothing to do with it. Did you see the fucking funeral curtains on her fucking face? And then the trans person looked like he got, you know where they wear them big ass, dumb ass eyebrows, eyelashes. He got the ones that go on the top, and the ones on the bottom look like the ones that go on the top. So he had two sets of the ones that go on the top. Them shits look stupid as hell. He looked like one of them old cartoon characters when they would paint two animals and one of them be female, and they would have the long eyelashes that move when it talked. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Y'all remember Henrietta Hippo? Remember she had them big eyelashes and stuff back in the day, the little puppet show for kids? That's what he looked like. They ran over to his house, smacked Lucky Charms out of him, put him right back on the blade. Get out there, punk ass. Work that ass. Check this out. Never called the police. You called your aunt, but you didn't call the police. Then you admitted that you had sex with one man. When you saw Cookie, you already knew it was some bullshit. But the next day is when you refused to do it. Why you ain't refused that night? She put your information on a sex site in front of you as you stood there. So evidently they were spitting enough game to have you curious enough to get caught in that shit in the first place. I can't feel nothing for you. Then you get on fucking TV and talk about how you had to suck dick and take it in the goddamn ass. Come on, man. Come on. People can only feel sorry for you as a man, even if you act feminine or not, because you have strength. And I'm more than sure there was ways you could have got out of it, especially if you had a phone. And you were standing out there on the Ave in front of a Raw store and you got to solicit men. What was you even saying to him? Hey, you want to have a good time? Come and see me, big boy. Like, what kind of stupid shit is that? All jobs ain't good jobs. And I think a little bit of curiosity in him, because he had an out to escape. Soon as I saw Cookie, I'd have said hell to the no. I pass. Not for me. They exploited your sexuality and you low-key let them in a way. And it's fucked up what happened to you and you're lucky to get out of that. But damn, fam. You know what I'm saying? You got to make better decisions. And last thing you want to do is get on the news and tell your story. Speaking your truth while telling you did the taboo? Ah, man. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I talk how I talk. I didn't mean to offend anybody. My favorite uncle was gay. He died. So shout out to the gays. A lot of people get upset when you talk. People get butthurt. But man, damn, this is as stupid as it gets. What do you think? Leave me a comment below.